living today. We begin today with some social media gist, where online personality and former core member Rita Uche, better known as Raye, is trending after showing off her new grey Mercedes-Benz sedan on Instagram. Now, this is the same Raye who just a few months ago went viral for lamenting Nigeria's harsh economy and calling Lagos a smelling state. Fast forward to today, she's now posing by her brand new Benz and thanking God for how far she has come. As always, social media is divided. Some people are cheering her on, calling it a story of resilience and hustle finally paying off, while others are raising eyebrows, asking how an NYSC alum on a modest salary could pull off such a luxury car purchase so soon after complaining of financial hardship. But of course, Raye's post has, of course, reignited the classic Nigerian debate. If Nigeria is so hard, how are some of us, or some people, managing to live such soft lives? Let's take a look at what you had to say about this on social media. Daniel Rega says, so Raye, the NYSC lady who couldn't afford the basic necessities just a few months ago, all of a sudden can buy a Benz from NYSC allowance, or where exactly? I hope she won't be riding the car in the same Lagos state she has condemned. Femi Peter says she has a remote job. She's been grinding, she makes dollars, she is rich and comfortable. So let's assume that all that is true. Why was she crying that she couldn't afford eggs and her 33K NYSC salary made her poor and unable to make ends meet and unable to pay her bills? So where was this remote job and the dollars where she was crying? The girl hustled Nigerians to generate content and followers. It was all lies and deception. And finally, Tap to Earn says, so now buying a Benz after NYSC is a work rate discussion? It's funny how people suddenly become analysts when it's a woman's success. If a man did the same thing, they'd call him ambitious, not suspicious. Maybe instead of comparing genders, we should question why society still struggles to accept that women can win without anyone's permission. Interesting. She's in a Benz area. Team, I want to put some things very quickly into context for you. You know, she does have an online job. She teaches people how to earn remotely as virtual assistants, earning remotely online, you know, working abroad from here. She does have that hustle online, and she charges for her classes as well as doing these virtual assistants and other online hustle herself. On the other hand, she did come out to say there's a lot of hardship in the country. I believe that this is a dual reality of many Nigerian youth, you know, navigating hardship while dreaming and hustling for the soft life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good that she has a thriving business online. That shows a source of income, and this online businesses might pay in dollars, might pay in naira, depending on how you put it together. But I think social media people should have a record of what they had said previously, so that they don't negate themselves later on. You know, from a very hard, difficult life, even to buy is difficult, and Lagos is smelling and all that, to a beautiful Mercedes-Benz car, you know, just months apart. You know, people definitely will ask questions.
And Alamdi, I'm just going to quickly take this back to the other day on the table when I said, you know, I was saying that the NEPA bill is too much and I don't have money to pay it. Mm-hmm. So if I buy a Benz tomorrow, is this going to be the conversation?
Yes.
People can make, what?
Yes, people, oh no, if it's social media, it will be the conversation.
People can say things. She makes statements that are true. There's hardship. You know, we see it in our everyday lives. We cannot come here and lie that we do not see hardship. But I tell you, this girl does a lot of work. And I'm not talking because she's a woman. She
work hard for the soft life. Thank you so much. Moving on to more serious news. Maryam Sanda, convicted in 2020 for the murder of her husband, Billy Aminu Bello, has been granted a presidential pardon. The case, which gripped national attention in 2017, saw Maryam Sanda sentenced to death by hanging after a very high-profile trial. Now, fast forward to 2025, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu approved her release following a recommendation from the Presidential Advisory Committee on the prerogative of mercy. According to the presidency, this decision was based on her good conduct, remorse, and efforts at rehabilitation during her time at the Suleja Medium Security Custodial Center. Ms. Sanda has spent nearly 7 years behind bars, and officials say that the pardon also considers the future of her 2 young children. Once again, we ask, is this a case of mercy or a moral misstep? Let's take a look at what you had to say on social media. Xerxes says, while her children's welfare is important, justice for the victim must not be sidelined. Clemency in homicide cases sends a complex and often painful message to the victim's family and to the public. Very interesting. Team, I'm going to come to you now. We did touch on this very briefly during the newspaper review, but perhaps we can talk more here. The president was magnanimous. It wasn't just her that he granted pardon to. He granted pardon to a lot of our historical heroes, Ken Saro-Wiwa, the Ogoni Five, Herbert Macaulay. What do you make of this? You know, what is the thin line between justice and then deterrence for future acts like this?
You know, for murder, prerogative of mercy, does it apply? You know, that's a question we'll have to ask and keep asking, because this clemency would rub off negatively on Mr. Bello's family, and I believe that his family members are amongst those people that are saying, why did this happen, and all that are criticizing the list of people that Mr. President gave clemency. But you see, Mr. President signed off on a list that he was advised to, you know, so you can't put the blame squarely on Mr. President.
Well, this story is quite a sad one. I remember in 2017, November, this story was everywhere. People were talking about it. And I also saw the comments that Atiku had made when he was speaking about what the president had done, like, you know, giving clemency to these people. But for me, I go in the fact that this woman has 2 children. And this is not me saying that, you know, what she did was good. But we look at the fact that they said that, you know, while she's been in custody, she's been good. I think that at this point, let's think about the children. Something bad has already happened, which you cannot bring back to light. At the end of the day, the man's family are also the children's family. So if we want to put it that way, you know, for this story, I am very passionate about it, and I just pray that as she's back now, she understands that she has a second chance and she should do her best with it and raise her children properly. The most important thing she has to do now is to impact great knowledge and teach her children the right thing.
You see, this argument forth and back reminds me of, in fallacy, there's something that we call argumentum ad misericordiam or something like that, meaning that appeal to pity. When you appeal to pity, just like a man who killed his father and his mother and is now saying to the judge, please forgive me, don't sentence me to death because I'm now an orphan. Who made you an orphan in the first place? So it borders on morality for me. The fact that she's a woman, she has got kids and all of that. You know, we tend to, you know, we are very emotional beings. At a point we're angry, like he has to be sentenced to death. Now she was. Now we're saying, you know, she has kids. So where do we want to lie? One thing is, whatever it is that has happened, I know that that consequence, that reward, whatever it is, one is going to get it, whether in this life or in the hereafter. I do not know how to approach this matter, but I believe that the federal government, you know, must have acted based on advice.
But, you know, Ibrahim, just to quickly add something, I think that for me and for many people, you know, that are talking about it, is the 2 children, is the children that we're just thinking about. Because at the end of the day, if a mother is not really there to train the children, how do we expect the children to
And somebody will ask,
doesn't have a children.
And the thing is that I know that it's not the best. That's why I said you put the case in 2 ways.
No, somebody will ask you if she wasn't thinking of the 2 children when she committed.
That's why I said the worst has happened. It has already happened. So what can be done for it to be better? Because the worst has already happened.
So what happens if she doesn't have a children? What happens if she's not married to the man and then she killed the man?
But in this situation, she has 2 children for the man.
You know, those are the things. So that's why we say at the end of the day, only God knows what's going to happen at the end of the day.
I just hope she does well with the second chance that she has. That's all I'm saying.
Yes,
that she does
indeed.
well.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Hopefully she's used that time to think and reflect. At the end of the day, it's all about the kids. Thank you so much, team.
Yeah.
Moving on, popular auto influencer Ola of Lagos has confirmed that his luxury car showroom was demolished just months after its grand opening. Now, a viral video showed bulldozers tearing down the structure, and while the cause hasn't been officially confirmed, reports suggest that the building was under a high-tension power line, which is a violation of Lagos building codes. Reacting on Instagram, Ola stayed positive, assuring his followers that his business remains active, and he's also announced plans for a new showroom, OOL Autos. He's also thanked his supporters and said that despite these setbacks, he's choosing strength and gratitude. Once again, the question that we have to ask is, if this was in violation of building codes, who allowed that building to be erected? And why was Ola not aware of this? And why did it have to get to a point of being established and then demolished? We have to put these things in place at foundation level. But let's take a look at social media. I'm sorry about that, Ola. Abolade says, my issues with all these demolitions is the state government agency that gave the go-ahead to build in the first place. Sami says, who are those who gave the approval and permits in the first place? Was he also not aware that that's not a great place to set up, considering the high tension hovering above him? And finally, Brolo says, Lagos State has a master plan. Stop encroaching on government land. Stop building under high-tension wires. Stop building on drainage, etc. It's for your own sake and the sake of the community you are in. Simple. Now, where your plots reach, make your gate stop. Team, this is so sad. I mean, a few weeks ago, we watched as the trade fair market was demolished. This is a very, very common story that happens. We watch buildings being demolished because they are violating building codes. But what is the policy in place? Why does it have to get this far? Although I will commend Ola of Lagos, he took it, he took it on his chin. He said, I'm going to rebuild. He didn't blame the government or play the victim. Perhaps he understood that he was in violation and bear the consequences of that violation.
Yes, if you want to buy land in Lagos, please check first if that land is available for purchase and for doing business or for residential purposes. You just don't see a piece of land and somebody that says this land is my own and you guys go into a deal and you buy the land. It's really unfortunate that this has happened to this young man. And in case you want to know where you can check, go to LSDPC. You'll get all the information you need about lands in Lagos. So you can, from the very beginning, do the right thing. And those officials that turn a blind eye when these structures are being built, what happens to them? Because millions of naira is being lost. It happened in trade fair, and it's happening to this young man. I salute him for the courage he has and for the fact that he's taking a positive stance on this. That means you will bounce back, young man.
He will definitely bounce back. For a lot of Lagos, he showed a lot of resilience. We all saw how he started on social media with his little adverts and everything, and look who he became today. It shows me that when you put your mind to something, you can achieve it. But Olamide, I think that when he was building this thing, people had told him, in one way or the other, because I read a post on social media that said that even users were telling him that this place is on a power line, this place is on a power line. Oftentimes, we often blame and say, oh, the authorities, didn't they tell? But let's also not forget that sometimes people are told that they go ahead to do it. This is the repercussion. I'm so sad about what happened to him. I hope that right now, when he goes to build, he does the right thing. Just as Thomas said, go make sure that you're not building on anything. Because what Lagos is doing is also good. Because if you are built on a power line, anything can happen. It's actually dangerous as well. So I'm hoping that he will bounce back from it. I know he will bounce back from it and he will do better.
There are lessons to learn from here. The first is a lot of Lagos from nothingness to being something, especially moving from where he moved from. And where he came from, then to Lagos, and then doing what he's doing, becoming very popular internationally, and also making money out of it, making a kill, let me just put it that way. Another lesson is, if you want to build, no matter the influence, I'm not talking about a lot of Lagos specifically now, there's some people that raise, high towers, high-rise buildings, but they know that where they are putting it, where they are, putting that, building that structure is against the law. It is not right, but they feel, yes, we can bribe our way through. We know someone in government. Just know that that government isn't going to be there, for until that kingdom come. Another government will come, that the head will be very straight, and it will straighten, your own head that is not straight. So, a lot of Lagos, well done, kudos to you. I'm happy that you take this, positively. Yeah. Do the right thing always, because we are proud of you. We're proud of what you've become. Just go establish somewhere else where we'll all come to patronize you. Well done.
Absolutely, Ola. The only way a phoenix can rise is from ashes and from ruin. So just keep that in mind.
Like a phoenix.
And take the proper precautions. We're rooting for you. Thank you so much, team. Moving on into the world of entertainment. Nigerian music stars Tiwa Savage and Seyi Shay are once again in the headlines, this time revisiting their long-standing rift that once divided two of Afrobeat's most powerful female voices. Now, in separate interviews on the off-air show with Bemio and Tools, both of the female singers opened up about the real story behind their infamous salon confrontation that went viral back in 2021. Now, Tiwa said that the fallout began over a diss track.
I don't know if it's her, Victoria Kamani. They said that they thought I
blocked their bag.
How?
That was actually going to be a question.
I've always asked, wait, hold on, we can't, please, don't, I know you guys...
Now, Tiwa said that this fallout began over a diss track and false claims that she had blocked female artists in the industry from business deals, which she strongly denies. She also revealed that she once lost a major endorsement to Seyi Shay while she was pregnant. But on the other hand, Seyi Shay says that a former assistant's involvement with Tiwa's partner is the reason for their fight. A truth that she only discovered years later when the assistant confessed to sleeping with Tiwa's partner. Now, both women seem to be ready to move on, and it's brought the end to one of Afrobeat's most talked about rivalry. Let me take a look at social media. God, I don't like seeing women fighting. One Nekanye says, women get wahala, big one. This has been over 4 years. Men would have shaked over it and moved on, or just won't talk about it. But with chicks, no way. Ria, me and you, the way that we love ourselves and the community that we've built. And indeed, because we are both women, we understand the importance of community and sticking together in an industry. I would say that there's several times that you've strengthened me and vice versa. And it's so sad to see women going back and forth like this, no matter what. You know what I mean? It's us against the world.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ria, Olamide is trying to tell you, please don't let us fight.
It's not possible. That's my sister right there. It's not possible. But anyway, talking about this, Etuma, quickly, let me just speak about this quickly. I love the fact that they're able to squash it right now, because Olamide, I say something, when women fight, there's nothing you gain from it. Other people will even be happy to see you fight. So at the end of the day, I feel like women should all come together and just make amends, no matter what it is. I love Tiwa Savage. I do not think Tiwa Savage will do all what Shay said. So you can just see that it's things that people said, and people are the ones that make conflict, get worse. Because Tiwa Savage is a bigger person. She wouldn't have done that. But I'm happy that they're ready to squash it and move on.
This person said, that person said, has always been the reason why women fight.
Yeah.
Over years. I think right from creation. Sorry.
Yeah.
This person said, and that person said, and the next person will react to it, and confront the other person in a way that you bruise the person's pride, and the thing just blows up from there. But after several years, these two people have finally realized that for their business to grow, they have to come together.
Well, I think it's a battle of ego and a battle of superiority. So one thing is, when two women fight, let's always come together and have a conversation, talk, because at the end of the day, you realize that you're fighting over nothing.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
It's okay.
Absolutely. Please, if you're watching at home, be a girl's girl.
Exactly.
Be your girl's girl. Thank you so much, team. Here on the TVC Breakfast Show,